Hi Burger family, it's Chef Dianne here. Today I'm hoping that we could make some cookies together. So the cookie that we're going to make today is the base of our chocolate chip cookie recipe. So you'll have that in front of you and we're going to follow that along, but we're going to make some adaptations to it today because we are going to make our shamrock cookies. And if you've been at camp and had our shamrock cookies, you know how delicious they are and everyone enjoys them. So we are going to start right away. I have my mixer here and I am going to add a half a cup of butter to my mixer and we're going to cream that until it's nice and fluffy. So add that in, mix it down. Give that a good whiz around there. There we go. So that's all started. So to that, I am going to add a half a cup of white sugar and also a half a cup of brown sugar. So we'll toss that in, put this back down, and we're going to put this on just a medium, I guess, just to get that going and really incorporated with that butter. You want it to be, I'm going to show you what it looks like here as soon as it's done. I'm just going to add my speed a little bit higher. And you just want it to be nice and smooth. You want all of that butter to be worked in really well with the sugar. I'm going to stop it. I'm actually just going to take my spatula now and I'm going to scrape down the sides of my bowl. And I'm going to scrape all the way down to the bottom. You want everything that's on the bottom of your bowl to actually be incorporated with everything else around it. Sometimes things just will get stuck down there. So you just want to push it around a little bit so that it's just getting all incorporated. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add 1 egg. Dump that in. Start it back up again. There we go. This is pretty much what you want it to look like. Okay, so let me just move this around. Okay, so it is nice and incorporated. Don't want that to fall. Here, have a good look. There we go. Okay, and put this back on. So to that mixture, I am going to add my 1 teaspoon. Now in the recipe it calls for vanilla, but to make the shamrock cookie, it's actually going to be a teaspoon of mint flavor. So we'll put that in. Give it another quick little mix. So at this point, because this is the shamrock cookie, this is where we're adding mint, but you could switch this recipe up. This is such a great base recipe for many different flavors of cookie. So you could change that flavor to whatever flavor you like. If it was like Valentine's Day or Christmas time, you could add like some cinnamon extract to it. It would give it a really nice cinnamon flavor. You could add caramel flavor to it. And then that gives it like that really nice butterscotch flavor. So it's up to you. You could put whatever one you want, but today we're doing mint, so the shamrock, so it's going to be mint in here. So give that quick little spin. Okay, so now it's actually time to do our dry ingredients. So I have here a 1.5 cups of flour. Remember, if you're doing, if you happen to be dairy-free, gluten-free, egg intolerant, that is all those steps previous to that. That is where you would have used your substitutes. So you could have used dairy-free margarine or butter, or dairy-free like soy-free. Any of those, whatever it is that you happen to use. You use your egg substitute. You could use gluten-free flour for this. Those are all the steps that we would normally have done at camp. So to that, I'm going to add my 1/4 teaspoon of salt, my 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder to that. Okay, then I'm going to take those and I'll put that into my batter. Plop that down. Just mix it around a little bit until it gets all together. Now, you'll notice that I didn't add my baking soda. That's a little step that we're going to do here in a moment. Okay, so I'll give you a quick little peek at what it looks like here. Get all that off so it doesn't fall. Again, I'm just taking away everything from the sides, making sure that it's well incorporated. Okay, so it just basically looks like this at the moment. So, baking soda. So baking soda actually has to be activated. And baking soda gets activated by either hot water or by an acid. So whether it would be buttermilk or whether it's vinegar or lemon juice or something acidic. But today we're using hot water. So we're going to add a teaspoon of hot water to that, and it will foam and bubble. Okay, so I added my baking soda to the mix and mixed that all up. And the next thing that we're going to do is we will add a teaspoon of green food coloring to the batter. This will make it the green color that we want for our shamrock cookies. So that goes in. That will get mixed up and incorporated. The next thing that we'll do is we would add our chocolate chips, or actually these are white chocolate. But this is the part where if you wanted to change it up, you could add, so if you did cinnamon instead of vanilla, you could use white chocolate or dark chocolate chips. If you changed vanilla for caramel flavor, for instance, you could use butterscotch chips. So we're going to add these in, and then you just want to mix it long enough for them to be incorporated into the batter, which will take about a minute or so. So I'm just going to push this aside. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to scoop our batter, the dough out. I have a 1 ounce scoop here, and you can use anything. The only important thing is that you want them to be relatively the same size because you want them to cook evenly and all at the same time. If you had larger cookies and smaller cookies on your cooking tray or your baking tray, then you would have ones that were either overdone or underdone. So you want them to cook all the same. So anyway, we've scooped them out, and what they will look like is this is kind of, they'll have like a rough top on them. So we at camp take them and we roll them in our hands a bit, just smoothing out those edges. And then I have another one here. Show you what it looks like once you smooth those edges out. So a bit smoother than what it looked like before. You just place it on your baking tray, just give it a quick little push down, and it'll look like these, okay? These will actually go into the fridge for about 20 minutes or so. You just want them to cool a little bit, as like making that butter just a little bit harder in there. They won't spread as much. Just remember as well that if you putting these on the baking tray, that you want enough room between them so that if they start to spread a little bit, they don't go into each other. The other thing I just wanted to mention to you, that if instead of using the chocolate chips, whatever form that you're going to use, if you wanted to use sprinkles, these are the sprinkles you want to use, not as in this particular brand or color, but you want the sprinkles that are actually like in a cylinder shape. They will actually stay in the cookie and give it that nice sprinkle look in the cookie, as opposed to if you use just the round ones, that are just in a ball shape. These ones actually dissolve in the cookie and get spread throughout the batter, and you won't have the desired effect that you're looking for. So remember that. Okay, so those cookies are going into the fridge. Once they have gone into the fridge and they've cooled for about 20 minutes or so, you're going to take them out. You're going to put them in your preheated oven, 350, for about 8 or 10 minutes. Everyone's oven is different. And so start with about 8 minutes, and then you can look to see if they need a little bit more time, that's okay. And you'll just adjust the amount of time by like a minute or so each time, adding as you go along, depending on what you need. So these have just come out of my oven just a couple of minutes ago. It's cool enough that I can actually handle the tray. So you can see how much they've spread on the tray as opposed to how much room we had between each cookie. And if you look, this is kind of what you're looking for. They're actually going to be brown on the bottom. They'll have a little bit of brown on the top, but basically they'll still be green. And if you look, they're pretty flat on the top. There are a little bit of cracks in them, but if you crack them open, let's crack that open, you'll see that they're a beautiful green color inside. So that's what you're looking for. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these, as I know you do at camp. And if you have lots of different ideas of how you're going to create your own cookies, I would love to see them. So please share them with me. Okay, that is it for today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.